So last week, we used select statements to retrieve data from a single table. And what we're going to be doing this week is we are going to learn how to retrieve data from multiple tables. And that requires doing a join. So a join lets us combine tables and pull data from multiple sources. And the way that we join the tables is typically a primary key in one table is a foreign key in another table. And that primary key, foreign key relationship allows us to create a join. It's kind of how it works. So you're going to start by reading the chapter in the book and going through the key points for chapter 4. What I've done in here is I've given you some graphics because I'm kind of visual, so it helps me to see how these different joins actually work. So the most restrictive is an inner join, and that is the default. If you just use the keyword join, that's what you get. And you can see it's looking for the primary key, foreign key match. It has to match in order for the data to display. What a left join does is it pulls in everything from the first table, and then it looks at the related column, which is either going to be a primary key or a foreign key, and it pulls in the matching data from table 2. Okay, and then if you look here, right join kind of does the opposite, pulls in everything from table 2, and it looks at the related data in table 1 and pulls that in. And a full join just pulls in everything from everywhere. Okay, so it's going to give you the most rows. And then we go through the syntax. And so basically you're doing a select from, and then you have a table, and then you are going to specify the join type, which is just going to be the word join, which is an inner join, or you're going to say left join, right join, or full join. Okay, and then you'll give the name of the second table. Then you're going to use the keyword on, and then it's going to be table 1 dot, and then whatever the name of that primary key or foreign key column is. You're going to set that equal to table 2 dot, and then the name of the primary key or foreign key column that you are connecting to. Okay, and that is how you set this up. Okay, and so the most important thing here is that the columns that you are connecting really need to be like a primary key or a foreign key to another primary key or foreign key. They have to have the same type of data. So if we were going to try to connect customers to their orders, and we were going to look at the customer number primary key, okay? So we might say customer dot order number here, or customer dot maybe ID, okay? Equal order dot customer ID. So as long as it's the customer ID that we're trying to connect on in both tables, it'll work. Okay, but we can't try to connect the customer ID with a date or a garment size or something like that. We have to connect on that same column. Okay, and if you can remember that, then you are not going to have problems doing joins. Okay, so here I've got the syntax for an inner join, and I've got lots of examples. But you will see in the on clause, and this is the most important thing, that It's basically that same column that we are connecting. So customer ID would be a primary key in the customer table. Okay, and in the order table, it would be a foreign key. Okay, down here, we are adding a third table in, shippers. And so you can see that the order table, shipper ID, that would be a foreign key. And then in the shipper table, shipper ID would be a primary key. So it's still primary key, foreign key. Okay, that is the relationship that you need in the on. Okay, and then we get into how to create an alias for a table, because that actually helps lessen the typing, right? Because a lot of times when you do a select with multiple tables, you have to prefix the column with the table name. So if you give your table an alias, then the table name is much shorter. And here's an example of a left join. And remember, the left join pulls in everything from that first table. So in this example, the first table is customers. So it's going to pull in every single customer. And then it's going to look for matching orders. So what is this going to tell us? Well, it's going to tell us which customers have not placed orders, right? Because those customers are not going to have an order ID. Okay? It's going to display as null. Okay? And so this goes on and talks about the right join, the full join, what a self join is. It's basically a table that joins to itself. And then we get into a little different way of combining data, a union. For a union to work, you have to select a similar column from two different tables and then put the keyword union between. So here you can see it's city and city. By default, it does not show duplicates. If for some reason you wanted to see the duplicates, you'd say union all. Except and intersect do not show all the rows. Except says show everything from the first table except the rows that are also in the second table. So it kind of subtracts those out of the first and shows you the results. And intersect says only show me rows that are common to both. Okay, and you can actually get pretty complicated with joins depending on how you want the data to display. So this is just a couple examples that you can actually run in the database as long as you have installed all of the databases. You can copy and paste any of these examples and they should work. And that is kind of helpful when you're trying to understand what's going on. So I can actually run this and you can see the results. And you can see a couple of have null. Okay, so project number is null. And I was looking at basically all of the employees and then whatever projects they were working on. And as you can see, not all the employees are assigned a project. And then I was looking at the different departments those employees are in. And let me see. Okay, we'll do this one. So here we are looking for all the employees. I'm going to pull all them in. and then it's going to pull in matching projects. So we are going to see some nulls. That's what a left join does. But now if we do a right join on this, what it'll do is it's going to give us all of the projects. And then we might see null under the employees. If there's a project that does not have an employee assigned, like this one, we would see null. And then if we just do a join, it's only going to show me the employees that are on projects. So we are not going to see any of the nulls. Okay, so that's kind of the difference between the different joins. Cross joins. These are also called Cartesian products. Your certification exam has questions about a cross join. So you do need to understand how it works. So I think the best way for me to show you is to run an example. So it's going to select everything from employees, and then it's going to select everything from projects. And then it's going to do a cross join on employees and projects. And what it ends up doing is it multiplies the rows. Okay, and that's what you have to remember. So we look at employees, and there are 9. Okay. And we look at projects, and there are 8. And what is 9 times 8? Okay, 72. And that is how many rows are in the last one with the cross join. That is what you need to know. Okay, it multiplies. Okay, and then this last part just talks about implicit and explicit joins. So I would warn you not to do an implicit, just because you're not specifying the column that you are going to connect the tables on, and sometimes the results are strange. So explicit, you use the keyword join and you tell it how to join the tables. And implicit, you don't. You just put a comma between the tables, and it's just kind of guessing what to join the tables on. Okay, so you can get strange results with implicit. Okay, so kind of in a nutshell, those are the key points. And then for your textbook assignment, there are specific tasks that you are going to need to complete, and then there are videos that explain to you what you're doing. So they kind of walk you through these tasks, and the tasks have you completing all of the different types of joins, so you can get a feel for how those work. On the lab assignment, you will be practicing those different joins on your own. Okay, and so I give you some examples, but this is not what I want you to create. You are going to create your own. Okay, so please watch the video because it walks you through how to do this. And you should have plenty of examples to look at. I've put examples in here. There are examples in your textbook assignment, and there are examples in the key points and in the book. Okay, so make sure you look at those examples. The lab assignment is for you guys to practice what you have learned. Okay, this is where you apply the knowledge. And so if you're struggling here, please reach out because I can help you. Because if you're struggling, there is something that you're not understanding. And we need to make sure you understand it because joins are pretty important. Once you finish that, you will upload your SQL file to the Dropbox and then complete the quiz, which is on the first 4 chapters. The quiz is structured similar to the certification exam. And the difference is there's no time limit and it's open book. Also, I consider the quiz to be a learning tool. So you can take it 3 times. It will record your highest score. Okay. And so then as you get more familiar with these question types, you should do better each time you take the quiz. Okay. And you'll notice that we do have some resources. And I included videos on the different topics, in addition to the defining the terms at the end of the chapter and including the slideshow from the textbook author. If you run into problems or if you have any questions this week, please let me know because I am here to help you.